Hello, I'm Eric Roby.
And I'm Kristen Lagana. Welcome to Anne Arundel County Weekend Review. Today we'll get out on the golf course with folks from Fort Meade and we'll get ready for Ferndale Day. But first, making headlines this week, that cha-ching you heard coming from Arundel Mills this week is the ramping up of Maryland Live, which will finally be open to the public next month. The Cordish companies held a news conference this week to announce a slew of road improvements coming in time for the grand opening of the casino. The interchange of Arundel Mills Boulevard and the Baltimore-Washington Parkway will be completely rebuilt to make an easy drive into the facility. The new interchange will have a state-of-the-art diverging diamond design, which has a crisscross shape and cuts down on conflicting traffic. It also allows for left turns onto the parkway without stopping. The State Highway Administration announced that the southbound interchange of the Parkway and Arundel Mills Boulevard will be closed for about a month while the construction is completed. So you might want to make other plans if you want to head out to Arundel Mills, Eric. But it looks like things will be much different when the casino opens. For more information about detours, work zone safety, and other local road projects funded by the casino developers, go to www.marylandlivecasino.com.
Traffic's everywhere, Kristen, but it's amazing to see all the work going on and how quickly things are happening out there. And we're all getting excited about the chance to go see live shows, play the slots, and enjoy the restaurants at Maryland Live. But the best part is that it means jobs and revenue for the county, folks. We have $15 million budgeted for this year in revenues, and that's a very conservative estimate. Then there's the 2,500 construction jobs and 1,500 permanent jobs. It's a very exciting time for Anne Arundel County. But let's take a trip down east from the casino. A short ride away is Fort Meade, which is really one of the fastest growing hubs of military and contractor activity in the nation. And then you keep going to the water and Pasadena. And what's in Pasadena? Besides the great parks and, of course, my alma mater, Chesapeake High School, there is our own Compass Point Golf Course. This week, the county announced that personnel at Fort Meade can golf at Compass Point at a discount rate to honor our servicemen and women and the contractors that service Fort Meade and DIA. Our own Dave Abrams was at the special event this week with the county executive where folks played golf for free to honor the new agreement. We'll send it out to Dave Abrams.
Thanks, guys. Special day out here at Compass Point Golf Course in Pasadena. I'm Dave Abrams with Week in Review, and wanted to start here by introducing you to Colonel Ed Rothstein. He's with Fort Meade, and Colonel, tell us about this special day. Why are we here today, and why are you here today?
Absolutely, and it is a great pleasure, Dave, for being here with the county executive and the whole team out here in Compass Point. We had to close our golf course on Fort Meade. There's no secret about that for all the right reasons, national security. But the key part about this is how do I continue to promote the golf community and support the golf community? And working with the county executive in the great county of Anne Arundel, we came up with a plan to work with Compass Point and Eisenhower as opportunities to partner with the Fort Meade golf community and with Anne Arundel County. So it's truly a success. And this is what's happening today. For the long term, we're going to go further than this, and we're going to continue to strengthen these relationships for long-term ventures.
Well, we've already heard that we've had some folks come and get memberships at Compass Point, and really, it's the least we could do to help our military personnel in any way that we can. And that brings me right to County Executive Leopold. Thanks for being with us on the show, and we saw you guys putting out there. How did it feel? How did the putting?
Well, I heard what Colonel Rothstein said, but I know the real reason he's here is to practice his putting. No, but in all seriousness, I want to thank the Colonel and his entire team at Fort Meade for the great job they do day in and day out protecting all of us. And I want to thank Michael Seneca to my right here at Compass Point and his entire staff for the work that they do and being a willing partner in this great enterprise. As we indicated earlier, you can never say thank you enough to the men and women of our armed forces who are there working for us on a daily basis. So we've, over the years, tried to have good partnerships with the fort. This is another example of that. This is only just one of other initiatives I hope we'll have in the future. We work together to improve the quality of life for not only the people on the base, but for the surrounding community as well. So I'm happy to be here in this joint partnership with the fort and with Compass Point.
And I know, it's not just recreation. The county has other programs that cater directly to veterans. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, transportation obviously is important. There are public-private partnerships dealing with Route 175, improvements to that important artery in the western part of the county, with the build-up of BRAC and Cyber Command. Cyber Command is extremely important. It's increasingly important every day to protect our computer networks, both in the public sector and also in the private sector. There are many jobs that are become available out there, and we want to make sure that we provide the training necessary to fill those jobs. The Colonel and I had the opportunity to visit the North County CAT Center, the vocational training for our young people. It's an excellent program. There's a CAT Center North and a CAT Center South. In our county budget, we put money aside to provide programs at the CAT Center. It's Applied Technology North and Applied Technology South. So, and not everybody is on the track to go to 2 or 4 year colleges. Ben Franklin once said that he who has a trade has an estate. And it's important to provide the trades, to provide that kind of training. And I'm glad here in Anne Arundel County we have that opportunity. The Colonel and I were out there together one day and we saw the good work that they do. So job training, transportation improvements, there are many ways that we can work together to improve the quality of life for all of us.
Absolutely,
Can I
yes.
just add one thing, since you brought up Ben Franklin, I'm going to bring up George Washington. When you put on your uniform, you didn't give up the citizenship. And key to that is education, like Mr. Leopold shared, visiting the one school. I'm also working with the other schools here in the county, Anne Arundel Community College, along with the other public schools that are right there near Fort Meade. I'm working with Dr. Maxwell and his team to continue to promote STEM and opportunities for both volunteers and intern programs where we could collaborate together with Fort Meade and the public schools. So,
well, for the guys and gals on the post, the important question to them, I think, is golf. They want to know why should I come to Compass Point and Eisenhower? And we have Michael Seneca, our GM for Compass Point. And Mike, tell us a little bit about the deals that are available.
Sure, thank you. Yeah, there's some great weekday deals. Members and patrons of Fort Meade can play as low as $29 during the week and $42 on the weekend. And for the formal, and the annual pass holders at the fort, there's some great deals too as well, where a $800 weekday membership and $1,100 for a 7-day membership, which is a wonderful deal. And Compass Point and Eisenhower, our teams are excited to be in partnership with the great Fort Meade, and yeah, we're excited.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for being with us on the show, and our viewers know, of course, that Mr. Roby, one of our co-hosts of the show, lives right down the street. He's going to pay full price. So Eric, come on out here and pay full price, and we hope you do well at Compass Point. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Dave. We expect to see a lot more folks from our armed forces up at Compass Point Golf Course and, of course, Eisenhower Golf Course. If you see them out there, be sure to thank them for their service and yell for.
This week in Hot Topics, the Anne Arundel County Fire Department responded to more than 1,366 calls for service. This included more than 1,078 emergency medical calls and 87 fire calls. One early morning incident this week tested the skills of firefighters as they worked to free the trapped occupant of a car in Severn, while smoke and flames rising through a quiet West County neighborhood alerted neighbors to a late morning house fire in Odenton. With me now to tell us more about these incidents is Division Chief Michael Cox of the Anne Arundel County Fire Department. Chief?
Thanks, Kristen. The first incident occurred around 5:14 a.m. on Sunday, April 22, 2012. When Anne Arundel County firefighters responded to a reported motor vehicle collision in the area of Charter Oaks Boulevard and Town Center Boulevard. The first units to arrive on the scene reported a single vehicle accident with one patient trapped in the back seat of the vehicle. Firefighters, utilizing specialized hydraulic rescue tools, worked about 10 minutes to free the trapped occupant. The patient, a 60-year-old female, suffered serious but non-life-threatening injuries. She was transported to the University of Maryland's R. Adams Cowley Shock Trauma Center in Baltimore via ground ambulance. An infant or child car seat was also located at the incident. A search of the immediate area and a nearby wooded area was negative for a driver and or a child or additional patients in this case. In a second incident, Anne Arundel County firefighters were called to the 500 block of Rita Drive just before noon on Wednesday, April 25, 2012. The first arriving units here reported heavy smoke throughout a one-story type rancher. At this time, additional resources were immediately requested by the first arriving companies, and an interior fire attack was initiated. Shortly after beginning this operation, crews realized that they had a gas-fed fire in the basement area of the home. In all, it took more than 50 firefighters from Anne Arundel County and Fort Meade fire departments about 3 hours to place the incident under control, as the fire could not be totally extinguished until the representatives from the Baltimore Gas and Electric Company could arrive at the scene to shut down the gas to the structure. Kristen?
Thanks, Chief. The fire caused an estimated $275,000 in damages to the structure and contents of the dwelling. County fire investigators advise that the exact cause of the fire remains under investigation. However, it is believed to be accidental in nature.
Kristen, it's getting hot out.
It's so hot.
Friday, 90 degrees we're looking at here. The weekend's supposed to be even worse, but you know what that means?
What?
Time to take the boat out.
Oh, yes.
Let's talk a little boating. Well, with the weather finally coming around, a lot of folks are going to be on their boats in the next couple of weeks and this weekend. Last summer, unfortunately, we reported a number of tragic deaths out on the water. So we want to remind everyone, be careful out there. This week, the Maryland Gazette reported that boating deaths last year were double that of an average summer. That's really a startling statistic. There were 24 deaths in Maryland alone. So go out and have fun. Do your fishing, do your crabbing, do your jet skiing, but keep the following tips in mind. Avoid going out alone. Bring a friend with you. Do not drink or use drugs, and obey the traffic laws on the water. Wear a life vest or have one handy. Check your safety gear before departing. Check weather reports before you depart, and stay off the water when lightning is in the forecast. Use common sense. Excessive speed or activity in shallow areas can be very dangerous.
There is more in Week in Review to come, including our interview with the new student member of the Board of Education. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
And welcome back, folks. Well, as Barack Obama, Mitt Romney, and the whole host of other political candidates running for president do their campaigning this season, one campaign in Anne Arundel County is over. We have Nick LaFavor, just elected student member on the Anne Arundel County School Board. Nick's a junior at Old Mill High School. Thanks for joining us today, Nick.
Thank you very much. I'm great. It's great to be here.
It's good to have you, and it's good to see young people involved in government at an early age. And I think one of the most interesting thing is, for everybody out there that doesn't know, Nick is the only student member on a school board that has full voting rights. Now, what exactly does that mean, Nick?
Well, that means I can vote on a number of policies, even from personnel to budget to school reconstruction to redistricting. Now, this is different than across the nation where most student members on the board serve in an advisory capacity.
And let's talk about, how did you get involved in student government? How did you decide, what made you decide that you wanted to run to be the student member on the board?
Well, I've been involved in student government for all my years of high school. My advisor, my coaches, they all recommend me to the SGA advisor to really get involved, really start kind of helping out around the school, taking leadership positions. And then last year I attended the student member on the board election where Jillian Buck was elected. And from that point on, I knew this is something I wanted to do. And I started from that day preparing for this election.
And Nick, tell us a bit about your campaign platform, because you had to run against some students from other schools. So what were some of the issues that you were running for?
that you
Well,
wanted to
some of the
promote?
issues I really tried to target were those issues that come across through the ETAG policies and the PBIS policies. The ETAG policies are focusing on closing the achievement gap between specific groups, and PBIS policies serve as positive motivation tools for students. I really feel there's a lot to be done with them, and they could be more efficient and more useful for a real-life application and a real student application.
Wow.
Going forward, Nick, you know, this is a big honor. This was a tough election.
Yeah.
How do you think you were the successful one? A lot of students come from the Chesapeake Regional Association of Student Councils. They gather together, delegates from each school, and they choose who they want to represent them on the school board. It's a pretty interesting process. What pushed you over the top? What do you think really did it for you? How did you win this election?
Well, like I said earlier when we were discussing, every campaign was successful in their own right, and each candidate was very well qualified. What pushed me over the edge was I was very prepared for the moment. I knew that it would come down to my speech and come down to the question and answer. I made sure I was prepared. I also had surrounded myself with a great campaign staff that really helped me out the day of the election, passing out fanfare, talking to students in little groups about what I wanted to do. They were great representatives of what I stood for, and I really think that my campaign staff helped me out a lot.
Well, it's obvious that you have a lot of leadership qualities, and I think you said something about you're captain of your soccer team at school.
Yes, I'm captain of the soccer team, and I'm captain of the track team at Old Mill.
Wow. Any other interests that you have?
I used to play in the steel drum band at Old Mill High School, and I loved it, and I still come in after school every once in a while to play. Unfortunately, I can't take the class because of my rigorous academic schedule, but I still make sure to go to all the concerts, buy all the band CDs. I love the steel drums.
That's awesome.
Well, you got a band member over here, a band member there, folks. I mean, we're gonna have a little audition up here. Good thing I'm musically untalented. Nick, I gotta ask you one final question. You know, being the student member on the board, having the responsibility that you have placed on you because of that position, there's a lot of students around there that are gonna look up to you throughout, you know, from now going forward until you graduate high school. What's one thing that you say to these students? What's one thing that you tell them that you want them to know about you going into this?
Well, actually, just earlier today, I was speaking at an elementary school, my past elementary school, South Shore Elementary, and every time I speak to younger kids at my high school or middle school, I tell them to get involved any way they can with extracurricular activities. They provide an outlet for you to really understand what you want to do, what you want to pursue in life, and it really opens up the doors. Many doors were open for me when I started getting involved at Old Mill through SGA and through NHS and through other activities as well. So I just tell them to get involved, stay involved, and the doors will open for you.
Absolutely. Well, Nick, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very
much.
much.
Best of luck to you on your tenure as student member on the Board of Education, and good luck as a senior at Old Mill High School.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's great to be here.
Folks, we're going to go ahead and take a break, but when we come back, there'll be more Week in Review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Welcome back. The Anne Arundel County Police Department recently participated in another successful prescription pill take-back day by collecting over 300 pounds of unused drugs from citizens. Joining us now is our Public Information Officer, Justin Mulcahy, with further details on this initiative. Justin.
The Anne Arundel County Police Department would like to thank all the citizens that participated in a very successful prescription drug take-back initiative. The event was held on Saturday, April 28th, and was sponsored by the Drug Enforcement Administration and the Anne Arundel County Police Department. Officers report that there were several hundred bottles of expired and unused, along with unwanted medications that were collected that day. Some of the medications collected were OxyContin, Percocet, and fentanyl, along with other over-the-counter medications. Collection sites were established at each of the county's 4 police districts. Now, in total, the county collected 12.5 boxes of various pharmaceutics weighing approximately 363 pounds. Each district was staffed with a representative from the police department along with a DEA investigator to answer any questions or concerns regarding the abuse of prescription medication. Citizens inquired about the harm caused by flushing the unused medication down the toilet and how it affects the water, septic systems, the environment, along with overall public safety. Many citizens expressed gratitude for the operation and inquired about possible future events. This event was held on a national level, and the Anne Arundel County Police Department was proud to assist the Drug Enforcement Administration and the local community in this program. The two previous initiatives held in 2011 had similar results, with a combined collection of over 575 pounds of unused and unwanted medication. As a reminder to citizens, new drop boxes will be permanently installed in each police station district for the purpose of disposing of unused or unwanted medications. The drop boxes will allow citizens to dispose of these meds at their convenience in a safe and secure environment. Now, the Southern District Police Station currently has an operational drop box, and plans are underway to install drop boxes at the remaining 3 district police stations. The same collection protocols established for the Pill Take Back initiative will be in effect for the drop boxes. Now, Colonel James Tier, Chief of Police of the Anne Arundel County Police Department, said, "I truly appreciate the involvement of the citizens in this initiative, realizing the importance of disposing of these medications in an environmentally safe way. As a community, we are collaboratively taking steps to reduce prescription drug abuse, and future drop boxes will provide another safe, convenient option for residents." Now, folks, as always, if you have anything you want to add to anything we mentioned on the show, don't hesitate to call, email, or text your tip to Metro Crime Stoppers hotline. It's available 24 hours a day, toll-free, for any crime tips for anything we've mentioned on this show or past shows. You can call us at 1-866-7-LOCK-UP or text message MCS plus your message to crimes. That's 274-637. Or visit the website. That's www.metrocrimestoppers.net. Remember, phone calls are not recorded and callers remain anonymous. You might be eligible for a cash reward of up to $2,000. Back to you.
Thanks, Justin. And folks, if you're wondering where Justin's been, if you've really missed him these past couple of weeks here on the show, he and his wife had a special delivery from the stork. We want to wish the Mulcahy family all the best with their new little bundle of joy.
Well, we all have someone in our family or someone in the neighborhood who has been around for a long time and can tell stories about the past you just can't get in a history book. This month, we honor older Americans, and Mary Felter has a report about just how that is done. Mary?
Thank you. Today, my guest is Pamela Jordan, who's the director of the Anne Arundel County Department of Aging and Disabilities. And we're kicking off right here at the Heritage Center our May is Older Americans Month. Welcome to Week in Review, Pam.
Well, thank you, Mary. Always a pleasure to be back on the show.
Tell me, why are we celebrating May is Older Americans Month? What's important about it?
Older Americans Month tells us all that it's never too old to play. Just check out some of the festivities we have going here. And it just features what the Anne Arundel County Department of Aging and Disabilities can do for all of our older adults, individuals with disabilities over the age of 18, caregivers, kinship caregivers. We are here to serve the population of Anne Arundel County.
When you say play, you also mean the important role that seniors play with the community, correct?
That's true. Our seniors play a vital role. We have volunteers that staff our senior centers. They staff our buildings. They are part of the fabric of our department.
Tell me about the senior centers that are available for the seniors.
We have 7 senior centers around the county, and if our viewers and listeners have not been to one and they are over the age of 55, there's a lot happening out there. So come on out, 55 and up, and a lot of free services. There are some community college classes, senior classes. You'd be surprised what's at the centers.
And what do we have available for the more frail seniors and who come or call the department for help?
Well, as far as activities, we have a program called Senior Center Plus, which is for seniors that just need a little bit more help, a little more frail, but also want to keep them social and engaged in the community. So that's a very vital program, as well as some of our services and resources. And of course, we are the gateway to services for all services for older adults and individuals with disabilities over 18.
We're talking about the Maryland Access Point.
That's correct, Maryland Access Point. So we are a state-designated Maryland Access Point with a memorandum of understanding between our partners, the Department of Health and the Department of Social Services.
Well, thank you very much for talking about the kickoff today for Maryland is Older Americans Month. I appreciate your coming down here and participating with the group out here and enjoying the festivities. We have people from the Anne Arundel Alarmers who are serving food. We have food from our nutrition program. We have program managers coming down to talk with the public. So it's been a fun day here this morning. Thank you so much, Pam.
Thank you. Have a great day.
This is Mary Felcher, Public Information Officer with the Anne Arundel County Department of Aging and Disabilities, and you're watching Week in Review. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Mary, and thanks, Pam Jordan. Good to see you on the show again. But nobody invited me over for some refreshments and dancing. Oh well, I'll just hit up the Senior Center to celebrate Older Americans Month.
You spend time at the Senior Center, huh?
Just a bit.
Oh, well, good. Do you do any performing there?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that later.
Oh, great.
But coming up now is our Community Spotlight. And in this week's Community Spotlight, Mark Chang previews Ferndale Day. So we're going to head up north for an event that's going to be a lot of fun. Mark.
Thanks to both of you in the studio. I'm out here in the heart of Ferndale, and with me today I have the former State Senator Mike Wagner and also Jim McHugh, who's also chairman of the annual Ferndale Day that's coming up. First of all, Senator, I want to start off with you. Could you tell the viewers out there about what Ferndale Day is?
Yeah, about 35 years ago, a gentleman by the name of Stan Gessick and Leo Harnan and maybe several others, we decided to have a community day, and a gentleman named Bill Zennert ran the parade, and the rest of us did various things. We got all the groups in the community, the Garden Club, the VFW, the fire department, the Boy Scouts, together, and we put together this day, which starts generally the first Sunday in May, and the festivities start with the parade, and then we have food vendors, members of the community, different groups, and they raise funds selling whatever, and they keep those funds. The bulk of the money goes towards a project, the Ferndale Senior Citizen Center, which is the only self-supporting senior citizen center in the county. And over the years, we've raised a lot of money through the selling of crafts and food.
Absolutely. Well, it sounds like a lot of fun. And well, thanks a lot for all that you do out here, Senator, and you continue to work hard even in your retirement. So we'll be back out here in Ferndale Day. I understand you have also understand you have a nice garden in your backyard, so we'll have to come back out and check that out. Anything you want to say about their garden?
Yeah, that's part of the must-attend features we have Ferndale Day. I take people around and show them my garden and give them a few tomato plants.
Okay, well, that sounds good. I'll have to stop by and get some tomatoes from you later. Thanks, Senator.
Thank you, Mark.
Jim, it's great to have you on the show, and I know you're working really hard right now with this upcoming day. Could you tell the viewers out there when is it?
It's Sunday, May 6th, and it starts with the parade. It starts at North County. 10 o'clock. The parade starts at 10 o'clock this year. It used to start at 12. And that parade goes down to the heart of Ferndale and terminates at the 3rd Avenue Field, which is where we have our festival. The festival will start around 12. We'll have arts and crafts. We'll have refreshments. We have kiddie rides, pony rides, and we have a beer garden with some live bands. We'll have people there from the Ferndale United Methodist Church, Ferndale Community Club, Ferndale Garden. They're all represented in this event because it's a celebration of our community. Like Mike said, it's been done for 35 years. It's just a labor of love that we like to do to put us on the map.
Okay, great. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun for all ages. Where is the entertainment, all the food going to be located?
The food, well, the whole event is on 3rd Avenue.
Okay.
So it's actually right across from here. It's a large field there that will have tents and crafts and rides.
Okay, great. And people want more information, who can they call?
They can call me at 410-760-7295.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jim. Well, I know you got to get back to work and finish up the planning here. So it's a wonderful event, and please mark your calendars and bring the whole entire family out to Ferndale. And we hope to see you out there. Reporting from Ferndale for Anne Arundel County Week in Review. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Mark. The parade never disappoints, so we'll be looking forward to yet another successful Ferndale Day. Well, I gave you a little teaser, folks. I told you before the break, Kristen kind of hinted a little something about performing and things like that. Kristen Lagana, folks, Recycling Division of Anne Arundel County. We've had you on the show for some games and contests and some fun things from time to time, but we want to know about you. And we know all about recycling because we talk a lot about recycling on the show, but what we don't know and what our viewers at home don't know is that you are in not one, but 2 bands.
Yep, you caught me. I'm in 2 bands, Eric. I'm in a rock band called Victims of Experience, which is all original and some cover songs. And then I also do a swing band called Mood Swings, 26-member band. And we actually had the honor of performing at the White House one Christmas.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You met the president?
I met the president. It was W at the time.
George W. Bush, folks.
Yep. Had to buy a $500 gown, but
Holy
it was
cow.
well worth the evening. Yep. And something I'll remember pretty fondly.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, it's your first time on the show. Did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Folks at home are going to see many new faces, as we've been talking about. But other than a band, what else can you tell people about yourself? You're a county girl.
I am a county girl. I went to South River High School, graduated in 2000, and Seahawk all the way. Still get together with plenty of my alumni.
Seahawks. Now that's a bird, right?
Yeah, but
Seahawks.
it's a powerful bird, Eric. I mean, it attacks.
What does it attack? Like little mice and fish? Little fish, right? Like minnows and stuff like that?
It is one of our favorite birds. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a water bird.
Yeah, it's a water bird.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
We've got ravens.
Yes,
We've got
we do.
Orioles.
Yes, we do.
Here's the Seahawks.
Seahawks, they're out in Seattle. They play football.
They took our mascot.
Yeah, I think they came first. Well, Kristen, that's great. You know, we're always here at Week in Review talking about a lot of important information. We talked about boating safety tips this week. But you and I were talking a little bit about movies and stuff off the, and I know our producer, Chuck Duncan, big movie fan.
Yes.
And he was telling me about some movie. You guys were talking about it. I don't know what the movie is.
Oh, gosh. The Avengers, Eric.
Is that like Harry Potter?
No. Did you read comics?
Yeah.
Marvel Comics?
Yeah, but that was Superman and, you know,
well, this
Green
is where
Hornet.
they all get together. We've got Hulk, we've got Iron Man, we've got Black Widow, Captain America, and they're all going to team up against some bad guys.
Why are they getting together? They all had their own little separate comic, didn't they?
Yes, but together they are a force immeasurable, and they're about to take over evil for good.
Watch out, folks. Maybe we'll have them next week on Week in Review. But, folks, that wraps up this week's edition of Week in Review. You can watch this episode online anytime at www.aacounty.org. Archive episodes are available at blip.tv and on YouTube. You can also subscribe to the free video podcast at iTunes, or like us. Go ahead and do that on Facebook at Arundel TV. Please tune in again next week for more news and highlights and no Avengers from around your county.